top story at this hour, Home Minister Amit Shah has assured Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi that he will personally look into allegations against Aam Aadmi Party's alleged ties with pro-Khalistan outfit Sikhs for Justice. Here's all that we know.
The political face-off over Aam Aadmi Party Khalistan alleged link has become the biggest flashpoint in the state of war, Punjab. The Congress is cornering Kejriwal after Aam Aadmi Party's founding member and expelled leader Kumar made a sensational claim, alleging the party is pro-separatist. On Friday, Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi wrote to Home Minister Amit Shah demanding a probe. Channi alleged that banned pro-Khalistani organisation Sikhs for Justice is in constant touch with the Aam Aadmi Party and that the SFJ backed Aam Aadmi Party for 2017 as well as 2022 elections in Punjab. The Punjab Chief Minister called for an investigation on the grounds of compromise of national security and integrity. Shah responded to Channi, assuring him of a probe. Shah said that the SFJ and Aam Aadmi Party link is a serious national security matter, adding that the agenda of such people is the same as India's enemies. The Home Minister also said that some are ready to team up with the separatists for power. Shah will personally monitor the probe. The party claimed Shah had earlier termed Channi a threat to Prime Minister's life. Aam Aadmi Party accused the Congress and the BJP of being hand in glove.
पिछले 10 साल में 3 साल तो कांग्रेस की सरकार थी। कांग्रेस वालों ने क्या किया? सो रहे थे वो लोग। 7 साल से बीजेपी की सरकार है, केंद्र में मोदी सरकार है। मोदी जी ने क्या किया? मेरे को गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं किया? इनकी एजेंसीज क्या कर रही थी अभी तक?
The latest face-off comes after escalation over the last couple of days.
ये लोग पंजाब को तोड़ने का सपना पाले हुए हैं। ये लोग सत्ता के लिए अलगाववादियों से भी हाथ मिलाने को तैयार है। सत्ता पाने के लिए इन लोगों को अगर देश भी तोड़ना पड़े तो ये उसके लिए भी तैयार है।
7 साल से बीजेपी की सरकार है, केंद्र में मोदी सरकार है। मोदी जी ने क्या किया? मेरे को गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं किया? इनकी एजेंसीज क्या कर रही थी अभी तक?
सत्ता में आने के लिए तो कुछ भी कर डालेंगे। उनके एक साथी हैं, उनका कल बयान आया था, कह रहे थे कि केजरीवाल जी ने मुझे कहा कि अगर पंजाब के सीएम नहीं तो ठीक है, दुनिया के पहले नए देश के पीएम तो बन जाऊंगा मैं। समझे आप बात? आतंकवादियों के घर में जाके रहते हैं एक छोटे मियां साहब और बड़े मियां किसानों को आतंकवादी कहते हैं। ये है सच्चाई आपके सामने।
शायद मैं दुनिया का सबसे स्वीट आतंकवादी होऊंगा जो लोगों के लिए अस्पताल बनवाता है, लोगों के लिए स्कूल बनवाता है, बुजुर्गों को तीर्थ यात्रा पे भेजता है। आज तक तो मैं समझता हूं कि दुनिया में ऐसा कोई आतंकवादी पैदा नहीं हुआ जो सड़कें बनवाता है, पानी बनवाता है, बिजली ठीक करता है, लोगों को बिजली फ्री देता है, लोगों की सेवा करता है। ऐसा तो आतंकवादी आज तक कभी पैदा ही नहीं हुआ होगा।
With less than a day to go for Punjab elections, the mudslinging shows no signs of topping. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, Kejriwal, Kumar showdown escalates ahead of Punjab elections. Delhi Chief Minister has broken his silence and called the allegations leveled by Kumar as baseless. Arvind Kejriwal has said that he was planning to divide the country. Then, what were the Prime Minister and Rahul Gandhi doing for the last 10 years? Here's more.
दुनिया का सबसे स्वीट आतंकवादी होऊंगा। मोदी जी ने क्या किया? मेरे को गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं किया? इनकी एजेंसीज क्या कर रही थी अभी तक? इनको मेरे से डर लग रहा है।
Under fire for alleged Khalistani and separatist link, an angry Arvind Kejriwal broke his silence on Friday morning. Accused of pandering to the separatists in Punjab, just days before the state goes to polls, Arvind Kejriwal declared that he is not a terrorist.
ये लोग पंजाब को तोड़ने का सपना पाले हुए हैं। ये लोग सत्ता के लिए अलगाववादियों से भी हाथ मिलाने को तैयार है।
7 साल से बीजेपी की सरकार है, केंद्र में मोदी सरकार है। मोदी जी ने क्या किया, मेरे को गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं किया, इनकी एजेंसीज क्या कर रही थी अभी तक?
Kejriwal accused the Congress and the BJP of joining forces to stop AAP from winning in Punjab.
जो व्यक्ति आतंकवादी के घर में सो सकता है, वो पंजाब की रक्षा कहां से करेगा? जो आदमी डर जाता है, वो पंजाब की रक्षा कैसे करेगा?
इनको मेरे से डर लग रहा है। एक तरह से इन लोगों के लिए मैं आतंकवादी हूँ। जनता के लिए तो मैं स्कूल बनवाता हूँ, जनता के लिए अस्पताल बनवाता हूँ, लेकिन इन लोगों के लिए मैं आतंकवादी हूँ।
The Delhi Chief Minister said that he was under attack from all sides and that the entire system was against him.
सत्ता में आने के लिए तो कुछ भी कर डालेंगे। उनके एक साथी हैं, उनका कल बयान आया था, कह रहे थे कि केजरीवाल जी ने मुझे कहा कि अगर पंजाब के सीएम नहीं तो ठीक है, दुनिया के पहले नए देश के पीएम तो बन जाऊंगा मैं। आतंकवादियों के घर में जाके रहते हैं एक छोटे मियां साहब।
शायद मैं दुनिया का सबसे स्वीट आतंकवादी होऊंगा। आज तक तो मैं समझता हूं कि दुनिया में ऐसा कोई आतंकवादी पैदा नहीं हुआ जो सड़कें बनवाता है, पानी बनवाता है, बिजली ठीक करता है, लोगों को बिजली फ्री देता है, लोगों की सेवा करता है। ऐसा तो आतंकवादी आज तक कभी पैदा ही नहीं हुआ होगा।
He didn't spare his erstwhile colleague Kumar Vishwas and called him a propagandist who recites poetry.
मेरे अंदर जो था, जो मुझे पता था, वो निकल गया। यही मेरी क्वालिटी है कि मैं बोलता हूँ तो निकल जाता है। और उससे उसके चिंटुओं से ये कहना है कि आका की थोड़ी बहुत इज्जत बचानी है ना, तो मुझसे ज्यादा मत भिड़ो, वरना मैं सारी बता दूंगा क्या क्या है। कुछ सांपों के इलाज कुछ विशेष सपेरों पर होते हैं। ये दुर्भाग्यशाली है कि भारत की राजनीतिक पार्टियों के पास वो कौशल नहीं है कि वो ऐसे सपेरों को पिटारे में बंद कर सकें।
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने राहुल गांधी की स्पीच देखी, तब प्रधानमंत्री जी को समझ में आया कि इतना बड़ा आतंकवादी इस देश के अंदर पनप रहा है। ये तो शुक्र हो उस कवि का जो उसने इतना बड़ा आतंकवादी पकड़ लिया, नहीं तो इनकी सारी एजेंसीज नहीं पकड़ पाई थी। मतलब ये चल क्या रहा है?
Hours after his dramatic press conference, Arvind Kejriwal tweeted this cartoon. But his political opponents are not buying his defense.
AAP मतलब अरविंद एंटी पंजाब, जो पंजाब का मुख्यमंत्री बनने के साथ साथ खालिस्तान का प्रधानमंत्री बनने का भी सोच रखते हो, ऐसे आरोपी नहीं, ऐसे इनके साथियों ने बार बार कहा है। पंजाब की जनता इसको कभी मंजूर नहीं करेगी।
Please do not make Punjab the battleground for your own personal fights. This is a border state. There are sensitivities out here. I urge all these people not to indulge in this petty politics.
The heavy exchange of fire indicates the fight in Punjab is a tight one. With hours to go before the state votes, we will know on 10th of March whether this entire controversy is hurting the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, even as the hijab fire rages on, Karnataka government has distanced itself from this showdown. Advocate General representing the state government has made it clear the decision on hijab has been taken by the College Development Committee and not the government. The Bombay government has also said they do not wish to intervene in the campus face-off, as according to them, hijab is not an essential religious practice of Islam. Karnataka government even alleged that the government has been dragged into this issue. As the hijab debate in High Court continues for 10 days now, students, sadly in Karnataka, still await clarity. The next hearing now is on Monday.
Hijab is our right. Hijab is our right. We want justice.
Tensions, anger and emotions running high in Karnataka and several parts of the state. Students protested outside the college against the ban on hijab. Heated arguments took place between students and local police officials. Amid all of this, what's hanging by a thread is the future of students.
Hijab is our right. Hijab
Anger in campuses.
we want justice.
Postponement of exams. Uncertainty and chaos. The protests over hijab is showing no signs of dying down. In Kodagu, several students staged a protest outside a government college against the ban on hijab. In Chitradurg, there were heated arguments between students and the local police. There was high drama at Milagros College of Udupi, where several Muslim students staged a protest outside the college, alleging they were not allowed to write exams in hijab.
Now the exams are going on and headmaster, principal is like, you can come to college, you can go anywhere in college, just if you want to enter the class, if you want to write exam or if you want to sit inside the class, you will have to remove the hijab.
बाहर इसलिए क्योंकि हमको हिजाब अलाउड नहीं है क्लास के अंदर। वो प्रिंसिपल बोले है कि अगर क्लास के अंदर आने का है तो आपको हिजाब निकालना पड़ेगा, वो हम नहीं मान रहे।
It's not in their hand. It's a government rule, right? It's a court rule. Until court order, they can't do anything. It's not in their hand.
After 3 years of working as an English lecturer at the Jain PU College in Bengaluru, Chandni resigned from her post, citing the hijab ban as the reason.
ಈ 3 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸರ್ ಕರೆದು ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯಸ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಂತೆ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡದಂತೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಸ್ವತಃವಾಗಿ ರಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Far from getting subdued, the fire is only spreading. There was chaotic scenes outside a college in Vijaypura, with students claiming women with tilak on their forehead were not being allowed to enter. In the Karnataka High Court, the hijab case continued to be debated. The petitioner in the High Court sought freedom for Muslim students to wear the hijabs at least on Fridays and during the holy month of Ramzan. There was also a fresh controversy. On Thursday, the Karnataka government issued a fresh notification stating that the High Court's proposal of no hijab inside classrooms also applied to minority-run schools. Leader of opposition Siddaramaiah said that the order was against the court order and that he had spoken to Chief Minister Bommai to withdraw the notification.
The students of the minority department, they are totally disturbed today. Their parents are disturbed today. So we demanded the withdrawal of the Chief Minister told me that he will take up the meeting with Manivandan and others.
Now, with many educational institutions still not willing to allow students as well as teaching staff to wear a hijab or any other religious attire and enter the campus, banners such as these mentioning the interim order of the Karnataka High Court have been put up across the state in order to avoid confrontation as much as possible. With video journalist Madhuar, Nolan Pinto for India Today in Shivamoga.
Ukraine reports 33 ceasefire violations by Russia as eastern Ukraine witnesses heavy shelling in this region. US has warned Russia of consequences after NATO refuted Putin's troops withdrawal claim. US President Joseph Biden urged Russia to consider diplomacy and return to the negotiation table. Here is a detailed report.
The Russia-Ukraine standoff shows no signs of cooling. Shelling has continued in eastern Ukraine for the last 48 hours. The Ukraine armed forces have released CCTV images that show attacks on an army checkpoint near the border. The war between Ukraine and Moscow-backed rebels has been going on for 8 years in the Donbas region. The region is witnessing the heaviest fire in years. Ukrainian officials have reported 33 ceasefire violations from Russian-backed forces in one day. Amid the heavy fighting, the Russian-backed separatist leader has announced the evacuation of residents to southeast Russia.
Поэтому с сегодняшнего дня 18...
As of today, February 18, a mass centralized evacuation of the population to the Russian Federation has been organized. Women, children, and elderly are to be evacuated first.
Russia has denied any knowledge of evacuations. Meanwhile, the US alleges Moscow is preparing for false provocations to invade Ukraine.
We are deeply concerned that that is not the path that Russia has embarked on, and that everything that we're seeing, including what you've described in the last 24, 48 hours, is part of a scenario that is already in play of creating false provocations.
US Vice President Kamala Harris has warned Russia to face severe consequences if they invade Ukraine.
But we are also committed, if Russia takes aggressive action, to ensuring there will be severe consequence in terms of the economic sanctions we have discussed. And we know the alliance is strong in that regard. And again, I thank you for your leadership as a partner in that effort.
The warnings come after the US alleged that Russia has stationed 190,000 troops in and around Ukraine's border. Earlier, the US had pegged the number of Russian troops at around 1 lakh. If the claims are true, this is the most significant military mobilization since the World War. Russian President Vladimir Putin had declared partial withdrawal of troops on February 15th. But the US and NATO say no big change has been seen on the ground. Russia has rejected the charges by the US and NATO.
The withdrawal has already started. We all saw the footage and got the information released by the Ministry of Defense. It is an extended process. It's clear the grouping for the exercises was built up over many weeks. And it is, of course, impossible to withdraw it in a single day. They can't just take off and fly away. It takes time.
Amid the saber rattling, Russia has released images of military drills in the Black Sea. Ukraine fears the drills are a precursor to an invasion. Bureau Report, India Today.
US President Joe Biden has continued to express concerns over an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine. Biden once again reiterated that he is convinced that Putin will invade Ukraine and that based on US intel, the Ukrainian capital Kyiv is going to be the target. Here is what the US President said.
But the fact remains, Russian troops currently have Ukraine surrounded from Belarus along the Russian border and with Ukraine to the Black Sea in the south and all of its border. You know, look, we have reason to believe the Russian forces are planning to and intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week, in the coming days. We believe that they will target Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, a city of 2.8 million innocent people.
And do you have any indication about whether President Putin has made a decision on whether to invade? Do you feel confident that he hasn't made that decision already?
As of this moment, I'm convinced he's made the decision. We have reason to believe that.